Here's a thought. What if the best time to act on a real estate opportunity is right before it shows up in the news, which is also, inconveniently, before most people know to look?
That's exactly the tension Vernetta works through in this episode's posts, specifically why local ground-level intelligence in Huntsville tends to outrun national market headlines. Let's start with what that actually means for investors.
The core claim here is that national housing news is, almost by definition, late. That by the time a trend becomes a headline, the sharpest opportunities have already been claimed by people who were watching something else entirely.
The Post puts it directly. By the time a trend becomes a headline, the biggest opportunities may already be gone. The argument is that national outlets report on developments after they've grown large enough to attract widespread attention, which is exactly when the early mover advantage has expired.
So the headline isn't a signal to act, it's a confirmation that others already did. That's a meaningful reframe for anyone who treats real estate news as a starting gun.
What this means practically is that local professionals, people tracking showing activity, buyer inquiries, multiple offer situations, and declining inventory, are seeing the signal months before it shows up in any published report. Those are leading indicators, not lagging ones.
And Huntsville is the specific example here. Aerospace, defense contracting, cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing. That employment base generates housing demand that plays out locally long before national data catches it.
Right. When a major employer announces an expansion or new hiring push, the effects hit the local housing market almost immediately. Relocation demand rises, inventory tightens, rents climb, while national media is still deciding whether the story is worth covering.
There's also a neighborhood-level argument that citywide data can't really make. One district appreciates sharply because of a school zone or a new retail corridor. The one next to it barely moves. A national headline can't tell you which is which.
The Post frames the agent's role as a bridge, someone who interprets raw data inside local context, tracking commercial development, infrastructure projects, rental vacancy rates, and buyer psychology simultaneously. That combination is what lets investors position ahead of the curve rather than react to it.
The rental market point is worth flagging too. Rising rents and falling vacancy rates often lead home price appreciation. That's the kind of early signal that lives in local knowledge, not in a quarterly national report.
The through line is really about where useful information actually lives, and the answer's closer to the ground than most investors default to looking.
Next time, we'll see what else that ground-level view is picking up in Huntsville. Stay close.